welcome to the Wayfaring Panda. I'm Annette. Today I'm participating in the Follow a Sketch February put on by Sandy Reversky, and her Facebook page is Scrapping Reflections, and she also has a YouTube channel called Stay Goddess. I'm using the sketch for February 10th, and the pictures I'm doing are of a girl that I used to sponsor in Mexico, but she has grown up now and moved out of the home. And so I've been writing her for several years and, of course, giving the organization money each month to help support her. And so now that she's grown up, she's turned 18 and moved out of the house. So I'm making a photo album with the pictures that I have collected over the years of when I did visit her, and also that I've just got like in the newsletters or emails. Well, she didn't really send me emails, but letters that I received from her through the organization. Anyway, the photos I'm using today are of a birthday party, and I'm kind of spreading them out across several pages. I didn't want to put a whole lot on one page because I don't have that many photos. So I usually do double page layouts, but sometimes I just do single page but try to tie the two together. So I'm using Simple Stories Snapshot collection for this, and I'm going around the papers that I've already cut for the layout with some Salvaged Patina, and I'll do that with the other papers on the next layout so that it'll kind of tie the two together. And plus I'll be using papers from the same collection, mostly different papers, but they are from the same collection, and I have used one piece that on both pages. Now the thing is, I didn't have any birthday type paper, and also since she's a teenager in these photos, I didn't want to have it look too childish, so I'm using these summer collection. But I didn't have any embellishments for that would go with Mexico because all the embellishments were in English, and also they were of summer and not birthday. So I'm going to show you how I change it a little bit to make it a birthday layout. I'm also using this tag cut apart, and with Simple Stories, a lot of times their paper collections will have one sheet of several tags, and they usually have journaling on one side where you can do it, or on the other side there's a tag shape, but it's usually more decorative and not really room to write, so you could use it either way, and I really like that, so you have two options. So I'm going to use this for my journaling. I often put an eyelet in the tags, but I didn't on this one because it looks like it has kind of a faux eyelet on it, and also since I'll be sending this to Mexico, I think it'll be taken on the plane, so I didn't want to have like lots of metal and too much bulk, although I do add some flowers that are definitely bulky. When I looked at my stash of twine, I didn't have any that really went with this layout, but I found this scrap that I got probably from Scraps and Ink, which is a Etsy shop that sells some scrapbook embellishments and mostly Disney. So I had the scrap that she had tied up some of the products with, and I saved that so that I can use it on layout, and it fit perfectly with this. Tying on a string is very easy. You just make a loop and poke it through the hole, and then you poke your strings through the loop that you made and pull it. So I had a lot of practice of this because when I worked at Disney World, my first job was at the gift shop near the stroller shop at Epcot, and so I was always putting their tickets onto their strollers or their wheelchairs with this method, so I got a lot of practice, and I think this may be called a slip knot. Then I start laying out my papers and my photos to see where everything's going to go according to the sketch. I had already cut down the paper, and I also sewed around the dotted paper because on the sketch I'm going to use for the other two photos, it had stitching on it, so I wanted to add stitching on both of the layouts so that would kind of tie them together. And I used some turquoise colored thread so that would go along with the Salvaged Patina and also the paper collection. Now on the larger rectangle where I did the sewing, I just put on 3 sides because one side is underneath the other paper, so there's no need to add stitching to that side. Also with this paper, I don't know if you can tell from the video, but the one that goes vertical with the lines, some of those rectangles have faux stitching on them, so I think stitching goes really well with this collection. I put a picture of the sketch up in the right hand corner so that you can see what the sketch looks like and see how I'm interpreting that sketch. Now, of course, the sketch is just a jumping off place, so you can always alter it in any way you want, or turn the sketch, or adjust the papers to match your photos. Once I figure out where everything goes, and I start gluing everything down on my page in layers. Now, of course, I have some Post-it tape over the faces of the photos because this is a young girl and some other people in the photos, so I wanted to protect their privacy. I glued down all my papers with Nuvo Deluxe glue, which is my favorite crafting glue. I have tried several different ones, but I like that one because it dries pretty quick and it dries clear, and I hardly have trouble with it clogging like I have with other glues. And the tip on it's pretty narrow, so I can use it on smaller spaces. For my photos, I usually use the photo mounting squares, which I did with these, and I use that to attach them to the matting and also to the photo page. Instead of the bunching that you see in the sketch, I'm using some stickers. I have a lot of stickers because I used to purchase them from Creative Memories back in the 1990s when my aunt, in the early 2000s, I believe, my aunt used to be a Creative Memories consultant, and before there were so many companies doing scrapbooking products, stickers was the main thing I used. And so we have a lot of those, plus I got a lot of Creative Memories stickers from a garage sale. Someone was selling what they had left, so between my mother and I, we have a lot of Creative Memories stickers. So I thought I would add some streamers and some balloons because that's how they decorated in the photos at her birthday. And that would definitely change this from a summer type layout to look more like a birthday layout. And I'm just trying to decide what colors go best with the collection. I purchased several different embellishments from Paper Studio one time when they had their stuff like 40 or 50% off. And I bought them not with this layout in mind, but just so that they would go with a teenager. I thought these kind of flowers and happy faces and things like that would go really good with teenage photos, and also might go with some of the papers that I already had. So I'm just looking through to see which ones I think go best as the clusters, and also what goes with the colors the best. So if you have a paper collection and you don't really have that many embellishments, you can easily find things like stickers or die cuts that can be the same color, and even though it didn't go with that collection, they do match really well. And also you can get it to go with the theme that you want. So in this case, I'm using stickers and chipboard pieces that are not birthday, but they do go with the color, and they could be birthday. It does say kind of teenager to me. And of course, if you're on a budget like I am, which most of us are, it's always good to stock up on your supplies whenever there is a sale, or you can get a discount. When you use the sketch, of course, you could try to get it to go exactly how they have it, like they have kind of a postage look on here and a heart, but you could change the shapes like I did and use flowers instead of hearts. And I didn't even put the 3 lines. I kind of just used the sketch as an idea of where to put my embellishments. Also with my tag, I'm not putting a title, but I'm using that tag as where the title would go, as well as that little decoration that I have in the corner. And I just added some extra embellishment on my tag to kind of jazz it up. And also I'm only going to be writing the names of the people that's in the photos on the tag. And I did that off screen later because I didn't want to put personal information on the video or the photo. I'll put a list of all the products that I'm using in the description below. Of course, the things like the stickers and things that I got from Hobby Lobby, I won't have links to those because, of course, you can just go to Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they would still have these. I don't know how often Paper Studio changes their things, but try to use what's in your stash. That's what I try to build up my stash to have what I think I will need in the future and use what I have. Also, this Snapshots collection was available when I did make this video, but it's not a new collection, and Simple Stories does discontinue their items from time to time, so you may be able to still get it. Depends when you're watching this video, but they do discontinue them, so you may not see too much out there. which is another reason that I do add other embellishments, because you might have paper left but not have any embellishments from a collection, or maybe you have embellishments but no paper. So you can mix and match whatever you have. I just like to look at kind of this tone, like this kind of says 1970s or 60s to me, so my embellishments kind of have more of that vibe. I'll have a link to the playlist for Follow a Sketch February in the description below. I'll also link it at the end of this video, so you can just click that and you can see several different creators and their takes on a sketch, so you can see that you can use a sketch multiple ways with different types of photos. They don't even have to be the same size as the sketch. You can alter a sketch however you'd like, and you can get some new ideas by watching other creators. Also, if you're watching this on the 10th, I will be making the corresponding layout with a sketch on February 15th, and that will be available on the 15th to watch. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you're not already a subscriber, I'd really appreciate if you can subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.